Welcome back. I hope you're doing great. As a part of this video, we'll do a hands-on of subqueries. I have logged into MySQL. Let me use a database named university. Within this, I'll go ahead and create a table called EMP. So here the table has some 4 columns: EMP ID, EMP name, salary, and department number. I will go ahead and insert some records into this table. Let me go ahead and see how the data looks like. So this is our data. We have employee ID, employee name, salary, department number, and in department number we have 10, 20, 30, and also 40. So let us say you want to find the maximum salary in this salary column. How do you go about it? Very simple, right? All you will do is select max salary from EMP. That will give me the maximum salary of the salary column. What if you want to know who is the person who is getting the maximum salary? Naturally, what you will do is you'll go ahead and say, while selecting the maximum salary, I'll say EMP underscore. This is the natural thought which is coming in our mind. Let's go ahead and execute this. What is happening here? It says in aggregated query without group by expression number 1 select, it is giving error. So whenever you are aggregating, if you want to select one more column along with that, may not happen. That is where subquery will come into picture. So the same thing, we can use the subquery and get the maximum salary and also the name of the person who is getting the maximum salary. Let's go ahead and do that. This is the first time we are executing the subquery. Let me explain this in detail. Select EMP name from EMP where salary. Okay. So salary, we are comparing that with the results of the subquery. So this is the subquery. As we already understood, subquery will be always in a parenthesis and it will be on the right side of the comparison operator. This is the equals. It is on the right side of the comparison operators. So what is happening here? We already executed select maximum salary. That will give me the result of 12,000. So the result of this subquery is 12,000. That will be provided as an input to the main query. This is the main query which has a select statement and the where class. So what will happen now is 12,000 is given as a input to the main query, that is salary. Wherever the salary is 12,000, that employee name will be chosen. I hope it is clear now. So we'll get a employee name where the salary is 12,000. So what is happening here? I am getting only the employee name because you chose only employee name. We can also go ahead and say, give me the employee name and also the salary. That will give us the name of the employee who is getting a maximum salary. So this is how we can write the subquery and utilize that as a part of the some of the SQL statements. Let us understand few more things. Okay. So to understand few more things, let us go ahead and create one more table called department. So let me go ahead and check what is there in department. Nothing is there because I didn't insert anything into that. Let me insert few records. So I'll just check how the data looks like. So this is how our data looks like. So where we have 3 columns: department number, department name, and LOC means here location. So we understood in our conceptual class, we can use the subquery as a part of the DML and DQL statements with some of the operators and classes. So let us go ahead and explore them one by one. We already discussed and I showed you how the subquery can be used as a part of the select statement. So this subquery is used as a part of the select statement. So instead of saying max, I am saying min here. Select minimum salary from employee. That will be passed on to the main query. Wherever the minimum salary is there, that employee name and salary will be given as a result. So in this case, if you look at the data, there are 2 minimal salaries. So it means there are 2 same salaries which happen to be minimal. So that is the reason, since we are selecting a employee name, it is giving us 2 employees where the salary is minimal in the salary column. Okay. So let us see how we can use the subquery as a part of the insert statement. Before that, what I will do is I will go ahead and create one more table called new department. Now we will use the subquery to insert the data into this new table. How will I do that? So what I will do is I want to insert only those records which are having a salary of greater than 5,000. If you see here, I am doing select department number EMP where salary is greater than 5,000. So wherever the salary is greater than 5,000, those department numbers will be listed as a part of this subquery and they will be passed on to the main query. So for those departments, all the records from the department table are selected and inserted into the new department table. Let us go ahead and check the records in new department. Okay, just to summarize again, we have written a subquery to have a condition. This one will choose all the departments where the salary is greater than 5,000 from the EMP table. That will be passed on to the main query. The two departments which are having a salary more than 5,000 are 30 and 40. Let us look at the data here. If you see 30 and 40, only these two departments have the salary greater than 5,000. So these two departments are passed on to the main query. Main query is selecting all the columns and records with the department number passed over by a subquery. The results are department number 30 and 40 with the department name and locations. Now let us understand how do we use the subquery as a part of the update statement. Let me show you the EMP table. This is our EMP table. Now what we want to do is we want to update a particular value in this EMP table. What I will do is I am going to select a department number from department where location is Bangalore, because the location is not there in EMP table. Location is there only in department table. Let us bring up that department table. So I will say select department number where the location is Bangalore. So that happens to be department number 40. That will be passed on. Update employee name to King in the department number passed by a subquery. If you go and check the employee name in the department number 40, you will get the name updated to King. So what is the name here? Vikas. It should have been updated to King now. Let us go ahead and check that. Can see Vikas has been updated to King. Excellent. We understood the subquery as a part of the insert and update. Let us understand how can we use the subquery as a part of the delete state. If you see here, I am selecting a department number from the department table where department name is null. Wherever the department name is null, pass on that particular department number to the main query and delete that particular record. So again, if I show you the data, here we have EMP table, we have some department numbers. Here we have a department table where the department name is null, that department number is 40. That will be passed on to the main query, and whichever the record which is having a department number as a 40, that will be deleted from the EMP table. Let's go ahead and check that now. You can see here King with the department number 40 is still there, but after executing the delete statement which has a subquery, that record with the department number 40 would be deleted, and the results are here without that record. How can we use the subquery as a part of the group by? Let us go ahead and check that now. If you see here, I am grouping by department number, and whenever you do a group by, obviously you have to do some aggregation. So I am grouping by department number and doing a aggregation on salary. This will be passed on to the main query. So in the main query, it will only select those records which are funneled from subquery. So how does the having clause work? It is pretty simple. If you see, what I am doing here is as a part of the subquery, I am grouping by and in that group we need to have the aggregation count equal to 2. Aggregation, what we are doing is count here. Only those records should be funneled to the main query, and from there select the EMP name and department number. So what is happening here is having is a condition on the output of the group by itself. So if you just do group by, if you look at the EMP table, we have these records. Wherever we are grouping by department number here. And what is the aggregation? Count is the aggregation. So whenever we do a group by on a department number, we need to check how many number of same values are there in a department number. In this case, we have 10 and 10, that is equal to 2. We have 20, 20, that is equal to 2. So what is our condition saying? Give me only those records where the count is equal to 2. So that is satisfied by 10 and also 20. Why are we getting this 10 and 20 two times? Because we are choosing a EMP name also as a part of our select statement. Okay, last thing we will see before we wrap up this video is what if the subquery returns null? What would be the result? If subquery returns null, obviously the main query also will return the null. So here if you see extension of the earlier scenario where we are trying to select the employee names and department number where the count on the group by is equal to 3. Earlier what we did is we tried to select the EMP name and department number where count was equal to the 2. Now what we are saying is we are saying count should be equal to 3. Only pass on those records. But if you see here, the count is not equal to 3. Only at the most we have count is 2 because you can see 10, 10 and 20, 20. So since there is no count which is equal to 3, the subquery will return the null value. When subquery returns the null value, obviously main query also would return the null value in most of the cases. Let's go ahead and do that. It's just empty set. Excellent. We understood how the subquery work in MySQL. Please explore this as it is important to write the complex queries. Thank you.